and all of things of that sort. And the author himself came to do an interview with Art of Dialogues to speak about the memoir. You guys got to hear what he said. This is kind of interesting because he kind of listen to this.
T. Millwood is not really affiliated or associated with Tupac in any kind of way as Tupac the artist. Let's be clear about that.
Sure.
Find that to be a red flag in how people doubt what's actually in this
I
book.
don't know, because the way I look at it is on my, if you know about my other cases and how I do this, I am cryptic sometimes. I am going to play on words. Sometimes when you're trying to change a paradigm about something, you can't just tell them straight out. So what I'm getting at is, to me, if you guys say the Black community, African-American community, I was asked to do that. It was sort of a condition. This was a cat and mouse game for about 8 months. I had him, I lost him, I had him, I lost him, and there's multiple people. I don't mean one person. And like I said, whatever, I could change my name tomorrow. It's fluid. If I wanted to go back into the account, I could put it to Chris Todd. For right now, I'm gonna let it ride.
And I totally understand.
Wait, so this guy he's going by the name Jamal Millwood? All right, this is a scam. Chat, look at this guy. This guy look like a Jamal.
But you can understand when you put.
I do understand.
You do understand. And so from that, in dealing with something that is alleged to deal with Kim Porter.
Sure.
It's
sensitive.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
But I'd ask you, like, what if a Black guy wrote a book and he said his name was John? Should white people come out and go, wait, whoa, that guy's name is John? Doesn't sound like a Black guy's name.
Well, we have John Sally.
I understand.
We have John.
But do you understand?
We have John Amos, but I'm saying
Todd's a white name, but I know Black guys are named Todd too.
Jamal, Mashburn, Jamal.
Sure.
We can go. I don't know no white man named Jamal.
That's a fact.
I've never met a white guy.
That's a fair point.
Never. I never met a Latino brother. I've never. It's simply this. It's just not that. And so that's the problem that I think most people had in relation to that.
And maybe I should have thought of it a little more. And I respect that totally. If you really look at my thing, sometimes I just do it. Like, it's really hard to explain. I don't always think it all the way through. So.
LaWanda Lane, a close friend of Kim Porter, has publicly called the alleged memoir full of lies. How do you respond to these allegations?
I don't believe LaWanda has the flash drive, does she?
What?
I wouldn't think so.
So this guy's like whole demeanor is that he got a flash drive from a friend or a family relative of Kim Porter that had her memoir on it. And somehow he published it under the author name Jamal.
To you have the flash drive. On that note, nobody has seen the flash drive.
Well, that's not true.
I mean, publicly, where they can verify.
Publicly, there's multiple people who've seen the flash drive.
Flash drive. Mm-hmm. Do you plan on at any time introducing the flash drive to any network or anybody that wants to see it to view the metadata involved in that flash drive as to time, dates, and stamps?
Yeah.
And when would you be doing that?
Well, there's tapes on the flash drive.
Yeah, this thing's a scammer.
No, I'm specifically talking about.
I'm saying all of it.
Yeah.
Just think of it like a totality.
Well, not even the totality.
I haven't shown anything from it yet.
Okay, so not even the totality of it, but simply the metadata.
Yeah,
as to time when alleged that this was purportedly written by Kim, dates, times, because I understand the book really doesn't have a structural date time. It's based.
She left a lot of the dates out, so it's hard to know what award ceremony they're at. I had to research a lot of stuff too.
Okay.
Some of the things I couldn't peg down the date at all.
Okay.
Because she's not putting in the exact 1996, like she's not saying that.
Okay.
And it jumps. A lot of it jumps around.
Okay.
I do believe Kim was writing it over a multi-year period.
Okay.
So she's putting some stuff here, then she's combining these things later. Or, remember, all writers do this too. You think back to the event and you play it out in your head. So as I've said, yeah,
This guy's
close as she
capping.
was to Kim Porter, or is alleged to be close to Kim Porter, would have had a conversation to know whether she was working on a tell-all book, any kind of, because what I understand, Kim Porter was working on children's books. And so in any of your talking to the people who allegedly gave you a flash drive, there was no mention about children's books, her children's books that she was planning on writing? No?
nope.
Okay.
Nah, they exposing the shit out of this guy.
What was your source for the claim about Diddy's alleged abuse towards Kim Porter, despite people close to her, including LaWanda Lane, denying it?
What is my feeling of how I prove that Diddy was abusive to Kim herself? Well, multiple sources I talked to about that he was abusive. We have the whole story about St. Tropez on the yacht, the broken nose. So I researched the heck out of that. Her getting hit with the chair that
Yo, Chad, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I love my white people, but anytime there's some black drama and fuckery, there's always some white man who's coming in with scammer vibes who said, y'all niggas is making too much bread out here. Let me come take some off the top. You feel what I'm saying? Who the fuck is this guy, right? Like, who the fuck is this? Chat. Hold on.
Give you the hardest fight out of anybody on
Hold
stage.
on.
Here. This guy TKOs people. When I knock people out, they don't move. You're not. Who the is that guy?
Who the fuck is this?
released, that Radar put out first. That was the first thing I ever leaked. Kim said she was hit by a chair, not me.
No. When did this allegedly happen?
That has to be after, well, the years, we don't know the exact time because I can't even pull the hospital records. So I don't know the exact moment of that. The picture I have that I released with the lip and the blood on the nose, that has to be post 2009 in LA. That's at her Toluca.
By the way, John Smith. Never mind. Maddie's. Oh, by the way, someone told me that Drake liked Cole's post. So Drake liked the song post on Instagram. Okay. And let me see. Somebody says author is using Tupac's old moniker, which is Jamal T. Millwood. Is that Tupac? Tupac. Jamal T. Millwood. What the hell? That's Tupac's alias? Interesting.
Toluca Lake House. As for the chair, I don't know the exact year of when that happened.
So Radar Online actually released that article
Because of me.
because of you.
Yeah.
And when did
They
they?
didn't have anything.
When did they?
Know anything.
When did they do that?
That was a month ago.
A month ago, before the book came out, and so you leaked that to Radar Online.
Yes.
Okay.
We leaked the pages that talk about her getting hit by the chair and waking up in the hospital and seeing the man who put her there. That was what was given to Radar and some other pages. They never got the full thing. They made that up. So I'm gonna straighten that out right now with them.
Who made that up?
Radar. They never had the whole thing. They printed that they did.
So Radar Online basically.
They have 5 pages.
Okay, Radar Online seen what? They saw what to get this?
I didn't even give them the picture either. I showed it to them through a Zoom call. I didn't give it to them.
This
The
guy's
Daily Mail was
bullshit.
given the first Kim Porter abuse photo was given to the Daily Mail on a one-time use. That's the photo you see with the blood, the lip, she's crying, she's looking in the mirror, her friend's taking a photo of her. No one ever saw that. That photo doesn't exist because it's on the flash drive. So that's what they're not really, and I already tried to release some other photos.
As in a conversation that happened between Kim, P. Diddy, and Faith, that Diddy is
at Biggie. So is it a little bit coming from his camp? And did Sean Combs say egg her on to do it? Maybe. I don't know. I
okay.
can't
So
fully-
basically, you don't know. So that
I'm saying I don't fully know if there's some liberty with what she's saying and she's trying to blend Tupac's version and Sean's version together.
Tupac's version of what?
I want to move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you're asking me like these very specific things. I don't know what she's trying to do there.
The reason why I asked that is because I was actually there when they met.
Okay.
I was
With Tupac met.
Faith.
Okay, cool.
Right. And so what I'm trying to clarify is,
Then you might know more than
well, not that I know more than you. I'm just trying to get to the truth and the facts and the heart of the matter
Sure.
in relation to the book
Sure.
and what's being said in the book. And so that you can't clarify that to me,
Correct.
I totally understand that, and you wish to move on.
Sure.
Okay.
Damn.
LaWanda Lane also stated that Kim Porter couldn't even work a computer. How does this align with the portrayal of Kim Porter's involvement in creating digital records of Diddy's alleged activities?
I don't know why anybody would say they don't know how to use a computer. So she's trying to say Kim's computer illiterate. I don't believe that.
I don't think that she's trying to say as a friend, as a close friend, somebody.
No, she's saying that to try to undermine what we're doing. It's kind of insulting.
But
If I said you didn't know how to use a computer, how would that look in the modern age?
if you knew me,
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people who can't use cell phones,
we're saying
correct, and what they understand from
between any people at all. There are things hidden from that person, and there are things told for a reason that aren't always true. So, and people are brilliant like this, okay? So whether Faith might give you a different answer, Biggie.
This guy, he's good. Like, he really hit a lick. I wonder if he kept all the revenue.
this narrative.
The tapes.
So you actually have tapes.
He claims he has Diddy tapes.
I'm not going to do fully comment. Let's just say there's tapes that exist, yeah.
Do you have?
Well, let's
That are on.
let's
flash
ponder
drive.
around that.
There's
The
two.
investigators in the case that is now filed,
Yes.
right, say that they're in possession of tapes. They can actually confirm that there are tapes,
Sure.
as well as baby oil, as well as all of the other things that they
Yes.
found.
Yeah.
And so with that, we do know from that perspective that the DA involved in the case that Diddy is now facing,
Federal government.
yes, the DA and the federal government have tapes.
Attorney General.
And so my question is, there's a claim that Porter kept copies of, and this is in your book,
Yes.
that she kept copies of Diddy's alleged tapes as leverage, right? And in making that, it would be assumed that you would, or the possession of those tapes, you've seen them, you have them, you know about them. And like I said, what evidence do you have to support the narrative?
Yes, there are tapes that exist.
Okay.
Guys, look at his body language.
The book alleges that Diddy kept a vault of tapes documenting his alleged sexual encounters. Was there any hard evidence that such a vault existed?
The sources say there was a vault that existed, yes. And some of the tapes were flown out of the country on a private jet.
The tapes were flown out of the country on private jet. Yo, this nigga think we that stupid. Nigga, a VHS tape? You gotta imagine this VHS tape if it's like that long ago. Just burn the motherfucker. Incinerate it. Do anything to get rid of it. Why would they need to be flown out of the country on private jet? Yo, this nigga really think we dumb as shit.
That's from the sources directly, so I have to believe them. If she's angry, if she was abused, if she's fighting back, because we know through, and I'm going to reveal some of these other things that are on the drive that discuss why she was doing it and when. Okay.
So you
She
didn't.
wanted-
These are other things that you didn't include in.
Correct.
And why did you keep that out?
Correct. Because I can't reveal everything at once. It's too shocking. If I was to release those tapes, the world would shut down.
What?
If I showed one of these tapes,
So
I'm telling you right now, the whole music industry and Hollywood, it would just grind down like this. They're all
Yo, let me tell you this, chat. Hey, right now, everybody, yo, let me tell you this. Being broke is one of the biggest diseases, bro. Niggas heard that Diddy was giving out money, and everybody coming out the woodworks. Now, the women, they're easier to go get their little payday. Because they're going to be like, yo, he put GHB in the baby oil, and he fucked me, and he had me doing all type of shit I didn't want to do. He had me in a freak off, and I ain't never want to be in the damn freak off, right? So that's the woman's call. But the niggas are saying, damn, how we could go get part of this like grift right here? How we gonna get some of the money? Then you see a bum ass nigga like this. He's just coming up with some shit randomly.
We're going to start pointing at each other like this, and it's going to be bad. We've already set it up. We have multiple attorneys. We know how to do it. It's not my first rodeo. I solved the greatest murder case in history. 3 of them. I know how to do it. We're going to do it, but just going to come in pieces. And there's also ways we can, let's say, not censor it, but we can kind of soften it, right? Like the whole tape doesn't have to come out. All the tape. I don't have all the tapes. There's other people that have the tapes. I can't control them. We already know they're shopping in Hollywood. We have proof of other people telling us. We actually didn't have that one they showed. So there's multiple out there. Remember, this has been going on for 30 years. So I'm not the only one who has them. I think I have specific ones that no one has. But so yeah, it's gonna be extremely shocking. We've got to be really just kind of one step at a time.
But
So
you can confirm nor deny that what you claim to have, that no one else has, correct?
I would say this. Let's say there's 10 tapes, right?
So this is hypothetical.
Yeah. Hypothetically, there's 10 tapes. There's a couple of those that no one has, but the flash drive has. I can pretty much guarantee.
And how can you?
Because if anybody has those, they're going to go to jail.
Wait, what?
If they release what I believe they think they have or they want to release, they will most likely go to jail. That's why.
That sounds like child pornography. So he's almost like inadvertently, in a roundabout way, saying that he has a flash drive with child pornography. What?
And this is
the federal government. We're working with the federal government.
Oh, you're currently working with the federal government.
Well, not like what you're saying.
No. I want to be clear. I don't want to make any.
We're going to give them to the federal government.
Oh, so you're going to give the tapes to the federal government?
Yes.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Threatened legal action, calling the book fake. How do you address his challenge to the authenticity of the alleged memoir?
Al doesn't have the flash drive, so how would he know? How does he know what Kim wrote? And Al wasn't fully in Kim's life, so I'm not going to bring up some personal stuff about Al B. Shore and his son and Diddy adopting him. I'm not gonna do that. But if he wants to have a conversation, have a conversation. He wants to sue Jeff Bezos. Good luck.
But he recently filed a cease and desist order.
Correct.
You are aware of that.
Yeah, they leaked it to the media before they gave it to me. So why don't we talk about that first?
Okay, so basically you're saying that Al B. Shore leaked.
Given to the New York Post before I received it. What's up?
Have you received it yet?
Yes, I did receive it.
You did receive it? And the reason.
But why would you send it to the media before you show it to me? Because you want media, because you want press. So I know what he's doing. He wants to lock horns. Be careful. Look me up. Look at my other lawsuit. 40 million in Miami. Go look at what I'm doing over there.
Let's Google this guy. So his name is Chris Todd, right? Chris Todd. Lawsuit Miami. Where's this lawsuit? State of Florida versus. Nah, this can't be it. I think
X'd out in the book. It doesn't even say it. So he's gonna try to file a lawsuit against one of the biggest companies in the world, and their lawyers are going to open the book and go, I don't know what's going on. Let me read. They're going to see a bunch of X's. It doesn't even say it. Now, if defamation by implication, when you imply something, yeah, they might have a peg leg to stand on with that. But still, again, he's in like half a page, okay? I didn't say it. She said it, okay? Now, I almost didn't want to put it in there, I will admit. And I'm considering removing that chapter. I am.
Kim Porter's children, as well as Diddy himself through his lawyer, have dismissed the book as an attempt to capitalize on her death. How do you respond to these criticisms?
Are they going to make comments about the victims of Sean Combs, or are they just going to focus on trying to call the memoir fake? Let's see their statement about all the victims. There's going to be 50 new ones coming out. I'd like to see them make statements about that before we start responding to what Kim did. I've done a lot of cases. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff of parents, sisters, brothers, kids. I've seen things that'll make your head spin backwards, okay? So we have to kind of just ride it out, see what happens, okay?
Wait, are y'all telling me what to search? Todd, Christoph. Is it this? This is him. I'm trying to pull him up to see if, what's his history? He's raised $12.5 million for this. Huh. Is this him right here? Yeah, I could only see this new shit.
Other people are starting to come forward already. They're already starting to corroborate, and some people are denying. We know that. It's not my first rodeo. It's not my first book. I already know what's coming. I already knew the family would say that, okay? So I respect them. If they want to talk to me, then have a conversation with me. It's not a money grab. These people have 20 times more money than I do. No one can say like money grab. Hollywood already owes me like $20 million. So when anybody says anything about money to me, just be careful. Like,
This guy's full of shit. Not gonna lie to you.
There's a claim that Kim Porter kept copies of Diddy's alleged sex tapes as leverage. What evidence do you have to support
Okay, we heard that one already.
anything involving Jay-Z?
there's tapes of them, yeah.
No, you have tapes. You are in possession of.
Well, I'm not going to comment about what the word possession means, but there are tapes of them, yeah.
No, I'm saying you've seen those tapes,
No comment.
because that's a.
You're talking about a criminal investigation.
No, and I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying, what evidence or testimony supports the explosive claims?
Kim saying it, so we start with her.
Okay.
So if Kim says, when she calls them the two Seans, and I really wasn't big on that whole thing anyway, it's very brief when it's talked about that. Talking about Jamie also, I know what you're talking about when she mentions that. The first source is Kim herself. Through research, through investigators, PIs, all the people with me, yes, we believe that it is true. Okay, if you're asking for like a tape and this, no, there's no tape of Diddy with them that I'm going to comment on. Okay,
So there's no tape that you know that exists.
I'm not commenting on that.
Okay.
With those people that the name.
No, I'm not. The reason, no, and like I said,
Yeah, this guy's smart enough to try to avoid certain type of litigation. That's why he's not saying it. But he knows people are so so cynical that him just saying certain things like, I've seen a tape that could shut the whole industry down. All right, who's in the tape? I ain't gonna say that because that person could sue me. So I'm just gonna like kind of like dangle a carrot in the air.
And once again, not that you have to comment on anything particular.
Yeah, this guy's full of shit, but shit, it's entertaining.
You might say a different answer.
Why I asked, no, the reason why I asked that, because like I said, once again,
Sure.
I'm just trying to,
You're trying to date it, yeah.
And the facts, like I said, because
Sure.
the book,
Do you really think he's going to talk to me? Do you think he's going to admit to that?
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay,
'cause
I'm
not-
just giving you.
I'm-
Will Smith would say. Can I say something? What do you think Will Smith would say?
Oh, they had said that Will Smith was on one of these tapes getting piped down by Diddy. Like Diddy was like long dicking him. And I know, pause, but like that's what this guy was saying. And I guess the interviewers asked him about these claims.
That this stuff was true. Did it, like I stated before, did I go call these celebrities personally? No. Okay. I had some people try to reach out to them. We never really spoke directly to the people. I don't need to. I don't need to. I'm not the cops. I'm not saying they're doing anything illegal. Okay. I am a conduit, that they make a joke about me when I say that. I am doing this for Kim. Whatever she wrote, did I research every single little thing? Obviously, I did my investigation. I believed it was real, so I published it. That's it. As for every little thing, and you're doing a great job. I totally get what you're doing, and it's, you can ask me anything you want.
the reason why I'm asking this, because these are serious.
What do you think Will Smith would say? Can I say something? What do you think Will Smith would say if I called him up on his cell phone? I pull his number through a PI, right? And I call him up and I go, when Kim was pregnant, she says she's on the phone with you. And that Sean's on the phone with you, Will. And that he's talking about this. Do you think he's going to admit that that really happened? Right now, with everything that's going on with Sean Combs and all these celebrities are silent right now, do you really think he's going to talk to me? Do you think he's going to admit to that?
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay,
'cause
I'm just giving you-
I'm not. The reason why I'm saying this, because, like I said, this is something that is alleged that Kim said.
Sure.
And so when you ask me that question in regards to Will Smith, I'm saying to you,
That's the example, though.
yeah,
You're
and
asking me-
I understand that. But like I said, when we talk about the encounters involving Kim Porter's alleged encounters with other high profile figures, I just gave you
I know a finesse when I see one, bro.
the example of Tupac in a situation involving that, and how the timeline doesn't add up to what Kim said
In that particular-
in the Essence article, as well as the picture that was dated from that actual party when her and Sean Combs actually first started to date.
Sure.
And so the alleged on and off relationship. So when I ask about the Kim Porter alleged sexual encounters, I'm asking you, how did you substantiate these? So there's no video
A sex tape of Will Smith.
of if anything involving Kim Porter.
A video of her having sex.
No, of any like. Let me repeat the question for you. The alleged memoir makes controversial claims about Kim Porter's alleged sexual encounters with other high profile figures. How did you substantiate these details?
There's no videos of her. There's videos of Sean Combs with people.
Okay.
Not Kim with people.
Okay.
So the answer is no. There's no photos of anything like that. Even the photos that were first given to me with the book, there are no photos of celebrities in their underwear. There's none of that. Okay. There's another part of the flash drive. It's hard to say this. I don't have all of that right now. There's multiple, we'll just say that. So I've not been allowed to see every single thing. Okay. And then as for I'm not going to call up famous people and ask them if they had sex with Kim and Diddy. I'm not going to do it.
Well, but that's what the book alleges.
Correct.
And the reason why I'm asking that, because like I said, this is the art of dialogue.
Yes.
And we want to sit down and have a real true dialogue. This is not about, the promotion of the book or the lack thereof. And I think more people are informed about what it actually is and isn't.
Sure.
And so basically the answer is you don't have any
I have what Kim said.
right. You have what
So if you came to me, let me answer.
okay.
If you came to me and you wanted to tell me your life story,
Right.
I'm going to believe you. I'm going to investigate it behind you a little bit. But if I believe what you're saying is true, I'm not going to call you a liar, and I'm going to publish it.
Right. But once again, we have not seen the hard drive.
Correct.
We have not seen that if it actually comes from Kim. We don't know that.
Sure.
As the public, the people who are watching this,
Correct.
they don't know that. And so the reason why the question is being asked
Sure.
basically is, so it's alleged that that was it, but you don't have any proof, concrete video.
All right, this nigga lying, bro. All right, enough is enough. Enough is enough, Chad. All right, got you. Okay, let's move on from there. We will get to Diddy filed an explosive letter and motion in court where essentially he wants the federal government to be sanctioned and to be reprimanded by a U.S. District judge, basically because he feels like the feds has tainted his, God-given right, or, right under, the law, that his discovery should, he has a right to a fair trial. And he feels like they have tainted that process with doing certain things that are interfering with him having a fair trial, including leaking the Cassie video. Actually, let me get into that right now. And we'll go through really quickly. I know this is some legal shit here, so we're going to go through it real. I have the document. By the way, thank you guys if you guys been rocking. Again, we went to a detour because of the J. Cole stuff, but shit. We rather talk about that than some of these things respectfully. You get what I'm saying? All right. Oh my God. Hold on. Computer acting slow. What the hell? I feel like my ad blocker be just fucking up. Here we go. Okay, here we go. All right. So there's a motion that was there's a motion filed that they want the judge to hear and reprimand the prosecutors, which is the United States of America, which is the AUSAs, right? And they're saying that these people have tainted the prospect of this trial by leaking discovery, and they're the only ones that can have it. And also their investigators have made comments to the press that have prejudiced this whole case. So they filed a motion to say the government is playing a effed up game. And they submitted it's called memorandum in law in support of the motion to basically just explain why they are filing the motion, right? So, by the way, I'm sorry for the sniffling, chat. I don't know how the fuck I'm like mad nasally right now. Anyway, defendant Sean Combs moves for 4 forms of relief related to what the defense feels was a series of unlawful government leaks, which have led to damaging, highly prejudicial, a pretrial publicity that could only taint the jury pool and deprive Mr. Combs of his right to a fair trial. Okay, Mr. Combs requests, number 1, a evidentiary hearing to examine if the government has engaged in misconduct in connection with the leaks. Number 2, the discovery of emails, documents, and records in possession of the government, including DHS. By the way, they're thinking this is coming from HSI/DHS, Department of Homeland Security, and HSI, which is Homeland Security. What the fuck is HSI stand for? Homeland Security. I forgot what the I stands for. Yeah, so that's who they think leaked the Cassie tape. And then they want a gag order prohibiting the government personnel from disclosing any evidence or investigative material related to this case to any member of the media. And number 4, suppression of any evidence leaked by the government in violation of federal rule, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is important, okay? Diddy's lawyers are trying to essentially get the Cassie tape thrown out. How could they get the Cassie tape thrown out? They would have to prove, or at least have a judge agree with them, that this information that got leaked came from the feds. The purpose was to taint the jury pool or taint the minds of how people perceive Diddy, which could taint his trial. And if that's the case, that evidence could be suppressed. Now, if he gets this motion granted, huge win. Because again, this, even though the jury pool has probably seen this, everybody in the world has seen like this whole like Diddy beating up Cassie footage. But what it would do is that this footage can't be used to establish maybe the violent nature or the nature of Diddy that might be someone who was, you know, on the video he's dragging her back to the room, which kind of corroborates the account that sex trafficking is, you know, also having people, bringing people to places against their will, but also they can't leave because nothing that they willfully would want to do, they're allowed to do. So they want to suppress this evidence, right? Based on the fact they think the government leaked it. I don't know if they'll get proof of that, but they're trying to submit it, right? Anyway, they said the available evidence makes a prima facie, I don't know how to say that right, but I'm familiar with the term, that shows the government, primarily through DHS, has engaged in a 7-month campaign with 3 objects: prevent Mr. Combs from getting a fair consideration by the grand jury. By the way, remember, they leaked that during the grand jury, right? Or around the time the grand jury was convened. Preventing him from getting a fair trial. And 3, strategically leaking a confidential grand jury material information, including 2016 intercontinental videotape, in order to prejudice the public against and potential jurors against Mr. Combs. The government's scheme to undermine his right to a fair proceeding has several methods and means. First, there's been a steady stream of false and prejudicial statements made by DHS agents to various press outlets, right? Second, the agents engaged in a particularly brutal and public search of his homes, during which they handcuffed his innocent sons and then marched them before a news helicopter in the press. This is apparently an effort to convey that they had overwhelming evidence against Combs, justifying the public and brutal treatment of even his children, who was handcuffed and manhandled by federal agents with assault rifles. Third, the government employees have repeatedly leaked grand jury information and material suppressed to raise public hostility towards Combs in advance of his trial. The most egregious example is the leak to CNN of the 2016 videotape from the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. As detailed below, the CNN leak was but one of long and documented history of leaks and false statements with one purpose: to sabotage his reputation prior to trial. What does it say to savage? Maybe that's a typo. Sabotage his reputation prior to trial. While the government misconduct in this case is particularly egregious, it's unfortunate that part of the trend in this district, the government has learned that it can strategically leak information with impunity. The court should exercise its authority to prohibit these underhanded tactics, which severely undermines a criminal defendant's right to have a fair trial. At the outset, the defense wants to be clear with the court as to what our theory is and what it is not. We do not contend the leaks were orchestrated by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Rather, we contend the false media statements and grand jury leaks were complained of. What? Complained of below were planned and executed by DHS, which obviously is that's Department of Homeland Security. And as the parties develop more information in this regard, the court will see that the defense repeatedly contacted the prosecutor and stated in substance that their agents were leaking information to the press. Yet, regardless of what, if any, action of the U.S. Attorney's Office took, the leaks continued even until after the arrest. The reason a hearing is needed to determine exactly what DHS did and did not do regarding these leaks and what the U.S. Attorney's Office did and did not do to stop them. The evidence of the government misconduct is clear enough already that the court is justified in using its authority to craft appropriate remedies. He requests the court's order discovery and evidentiary hearing to investigate the government's misconduct. The abuse here is clear, but without a hearing, it would remain unknown how far the abuse reached. Okay, so what they're trying to do is kind of do what was done in the Alec Baldwin case. Alec Baldwin beat his case primarily because there was Brady material, right? So there was some material that probably could have worked in his favor that the prosecutors did not disclose to him. Because that evidence was suppressed. Well, actually, it was more than suppressed because the judge found that it was the prosecutors were in violation of his rights by not disclosing that information to him. They actually dismissed the case. The penalty was dismissing the case with prejudice, right? And with prejudice means you can't file again. So that's why Alec Baldwin is actually clear for allegedly killing somebody on the set of a movie. Anyway, so they give a whole background, but they're basically saying that the government leaked the shit. It's 17 pages. And yeah, that's the whole thing. They believe that the government leaked a whole bunch of shit. So they're talking about if a person is not in law enforcement or to leak the videotape to a news source, that person would have sold the tape rather than give it to CNN. So they're making very clear distinctions. If this was not a law enforcement person, they would have just they would have sold it to TMZ. TMZ pays tens of thousands of dollars for the footage. And the fact it was leaked to CNN shows that the motive was not financial gain. CNN doesn't necessarily pay, or we don't know them to pay for that footage. It shows a motive to damage his reputation without remuneration, a motive held by the federal agents. Fourth, the timing of the leak suggests government involvement. The tape was leaked on one of the few days the Trump trial was not being held, as Barron Trump and Donald Trump's youngest son graduated high school that day with his father in attendance in Florida. One of the more contentious issues in the Trump trial was whether the trial was going to be stayed so Trump could. So basically, they said that the whole week everyone was covering Trump. Trump gets a day off from court to go to a graduation, or that was supposed the day he was going to go to a graduation. And essentially, that's when they chose to leak the footage, which means that it's the government who probably already is, very aware of what's big in the media, and they wanted to make the biggest splash. Okay. Eventually, the court announced that May 17 would not be a trial day. Blah blah blah. All right, cool. The video was leaked to CNN for one reason alone: to mortally wound the reputation of or the prospect of Sean Combs defend himself. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, they essentially want, and it said requested relief. They want evidentiary hearing. Second, they want the court to order that relevant discovery, which means emails and text messages from any government attorneys or law enforcement agents regarding these leaks should be, put out and or at least, reviewed. Third, the court wants to immediately enter order forbidding government attorneys to speak on this further to the media. And I think the fourth one is to disqualify and suppress the evidence included. And this is the biggest thing. They want the 2016 video of Diddy beating up Cassie to be suppressed so it can't be used in the trial. So, they're trying. They definitely are trying. Will that work? I got to imagine, whether it's DHS, we all know the Southern District of New York don't play. It's not their first rodeo. If they leaked this footage, which, at this point, we could probably assume that maybe they did, they knew exactly what was going to happen in court. So they probably did in a way where they're not going to be caught with their hand in the cookie jar. So again, Diddy's lawyers filing the motion to say, let's punish him for it, but how could they prove the government did it? Who knows, right? But in an interesting note, did y'all see this, chat? So Alex Spiro. Remember we looked at Piers Morgan, who admitted, right? Look, Piers Morgan admitted that Beyonce. He admitted that Jay-Z and Beyonce's team reached out to him, and essentially he was apologizing, right? Like, he literally apologized to Jay-Z and Beyonce for, really platforming. Let me see. For platforming Jaguar Wright. And let's see if we could figure this out. Why my computer be just every time it has to use this fucking ad blocker? Sorry. Here we go. So if we go to Piers Morgan, right? Is it here? Is it here? No. Let's go. Give me a second. Is it here? No. Is it this? No. This? No. This? No. Right here. I think this is what it is. Here we go. So they start off with an
A
apology.
songwriter who's made claims about Diddy's life or nearly for the rest of his life.
I think he has an out option, and that is popping a cyanide pill.
If he wanted to kill himself, he would have been dead already.
But Choke, I mean, you might have said the same thing about Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, you didn't wait for the best part yet. He's going to be indicted for the murder of Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures.
Watch. He's gonna now apologize to Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves. But now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact. And we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Damn. Folded like a lawn chair. Jay-Z and Beyonce, I'm sorry. We even brought someone on to try to check y'all temperature. Hell nah. Now, why did that happen? Apparently, Alex Spiro, and remember, I keep telling you, Alex Spiro is Jay-Z's lawyer, which, by the way, there's something going on here. Remember, I told y'all Jay-Z's lawyers also represent Tupac's estate in investigating to see if Diddy had anything to do with his death. Remember, why would Jay-Z's lawyer be representing somebody trying to pile onto Diddy unless they don't fuck with Diddy no more? Or maybe they're trying to send a message to Diddy to say, make sure you keep your fucking mouth shut while you're locked up. Don't think because you locked up it's time to sing, because we could make this a whole lot worse. Anyway, Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, actually appeared on TMZ. And his appearance on TMZ, he actually explained why Piers Morgan apologized, and this was the explanation here. Hold on. Sorry.
He is very eager to tell his story.
Comes on. This must have been shocking to you that somebody comes on a show and then kind of levels these vague-ish allegations. Were you kind of ready for something like this to eventually happen?
Listen, there's rumors and then there's nonsense, and this is one step further, right? This is a pointed and formal accusation of something, I felt it needed to be responded to. So I think somebody reported it was a cease and desist. It wasn't that. It was quite bluntly an ultimatum, which is remove that false accusation that's demonstrably false, or a court's going to order you to. And so I think he made the wise choice and acted accordingly.
He meaning Piers Morgan.
Removing it and apologizing for it, yes. What changed here in my mind is that somebody on a so-called journalistic platform exploited that kind of random rumor mill, whether it's disconnected from reality or what have you, and lifted it up. And by doing that, you know, they not only caused harm here, but they are also droning out the voices of real victims. And by doing that to get clicks, he didn't just harm the Carters. What he did effectively was to drown out the voices of actual victims in an ongoing case, in an ongoing investigation, and that was too much for me.
Are you in the process of making sure that it is taken down everywhere?
What I am here to say is that in a situation as serious as this, somebody who puts themselves out as a journalist should not effectively take advantage of the situation and exploit somebody in this way. And so that's the real reason for action.
Does it strike you a little bit that there's been a lot of silence in Hollywood in the wake of all of this?
Well, as to the Carters, I can tell you that when they put their foot down on something as they did here, they are sending a message. And if they can't stand up and make sure right from wrong, then who can? I've always believed that the truth will come out in courtrooms, and I'm sure the truth will come out here.
Okay. This very interesting, chat. Very motherfucking interesting. Chat, as I've told you, Jay-Z and Beyonce, their lawyers pretty damn powerful. I don't know why I keep sneezing. I'm so sorry, chat. Jay-Z and Beyonce's lawyer, Alex Spiro, very fucking powerful. This is a guy who, when everybody thought that ICE was going to keep 21 Savage detained, he was going to get deported. What the fuck? I don't know what's going on, chat. Sorry. When everyone thought that was going to happen, Jay-Z assigned Alex Spiro. This guy right here, they're taunting his case. And by the way, he's helping out Mayor Adams right now, the New York City mayor. They're saying he's never lost a case. They're saying this guy is one of those. And Jay-Z has him in his pocket. He does the bidding for Jay-Z, whether it's representing someone Jay-Z likes, Jay-Z has interest in, or if it's somebody who might be Jay-Z want to see fail, he might show up just to represent the other person, just to make sure that other person fails, right? This guy's really powerful, and when you hear him talk like this, this guy is speaking from a position of power. He said, "I didn't send him a cease and desist." By the way, I think what he said is worse. He said, "I gave it an ultimatum." I didn't even tell him a cease and desist. I gave an ultimatum. Now, a cease and desist isn't a legal document. A cease and desist is usually, it's a notice, right? It's a notice that if you continue this behavior or you don't remedy that behavior, we intend to pursue you legally. He didn't say, "Oh, I sent that," which is usually kind of outline shit. He says, "I gave him an ultimatum," which means Piers Morgan just got bullied. But this just show you how powerful Jay-Z and Beyonce's lawyer has a reach. Sorry.
Right.
Were you ready for something like this to eventually happen?
Listen, there's rumors and then there's nonsense, and this is one step further, right? This is a pointed and formal accusation of something, and I felt it needed to be responded to. So I think somebody reported it was a cease and desist. It wasn't that. It was quite bluntly an ultimatum, which is remove that false accusation that's demonstrably false, or a court's going to order you to. And so I think he made the wise choice and acted accordingly.
He meaning Piers Morgan.
Removing it and apologizing for it, yes. What changed here in my mind is that somebody on a so-called journalistic platform exploited that kind of random rumor mill.
Now, remember we were talking about this whole thing. Yo, why don't Jay-Z sue Jaguar Wright? I'm pretty sure they've maybe reached out to her to say, "Yo, stop the bullshit or we're going to sue you." It's either two things. They've reached out, she's ignored it. Or actually three things. Second of all, they haven't reached out because they know she don't got no money. So threatening a lawsuit to somebody who don't got money is like basically threatening to waste your own time. Or number three, they don't want to go to court with her because she might have more to say. And then she could at least use her legal right to then have Jay-Z actually have to answer to certain shit through a deposition. So it's a very interesting thing. But it's interesting. This is the first time we see Alex Spiro pop out, and he popped out in a major way. Piers Morgan, if you look at Piers Morgan's channel, everything he's doing, I ain't gonna lie, Piers Morgan, he's like white Shannon Sharp. Everything he's doing is getting major views. Look, 1.5 million a day ago, 1.2 million a day ago, 750K. Like most of all, 3.6 million for that interview in question. He is like doing really huge numbers. And I think for him, you know what? And I'm pretty sure he has some type of counsel. Why go to war with the Carters? Especially when it's over some shit that Jaguar Wright said, right? Now, this is also one of the reasons why I think that Vlad has never interviewed her, regardless, because, you know, she has a lot to say about Sean Diddy Combs. Like, you're still going to have people who are very interested in what she said. Did you see her last interview? She just did another interview. She did another interview. Like, look at this. Came out yesterday.
I watched them.
Yo, by the way, I know she's probably charging for interviews right now. Look, it did 1 million in a day. Yo, chat, look. Look, she started looking like a diva now. She got glasses on. Look at her. Listen to this shit.
A video of an interview of Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
Let's take a shot, chat.
What do you think he went through? Where
Because
he
he
feels
knows
like,
what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown, girl, with Drake.
What?
These people are monsters.
Stop. That's my thing with her. Yo, she had clear, you know, association. Like, we seen her singing for Jay-Z. I know people were mad. They were like, yo, how didn't you know? Bro, like, I didn't know she was the person who was singing on the Unplugged thing, but, like, come on. Like, why we acting like she was a huge deal? Relax. Anyway, the thing with her is, and I think this is a symptom of the Me Too era. To get credibility, all you have to do is claim everybody is a monster. Chris Brown monster, Drake monster, Jay-Z monster, Diddy monster. They're all monsters. And now, because we do see Diddy in trouble, we're like, really? Tell me more. We give a platform. There's 1 million people watching a day. We keep hearing more and more shit. And again, it's different if she was around these people, but I don't know if she's ever met Drake or Chris Brown. I heard her say things about Drake and Chris Brown. And I was like, have you met him? Like, how are you speaking on? It's one thing to be like, I've heard that these guys do X, Y, and Z. She don't speak like that. And I think that's what Dame Dash was saying. She don't be speaking in the, oh, I heard this. She speaks in this, I know this.
Real life.
what time it is?
Oh, look, they put a disclaimer. Wow, see? The information provided by the speaker or presenter on the IDAC platform is for general informational purposes only. All information provided is in good faith. However, we make no representation or warranty of any kind expressed or implied regarding the accuracy. Okay, see, I'm going to be honest with you. This is where we get to bullshit. We start chasing clicks over chasing, like, if you got to put this type of, like, disclaimer, it's like you saying, I ain't going to lie to you, we don't even really believe this chick. We just think it's entertaining and it's going to get us clicks. Like, come on, bro. Like, she's talking about things and making allegations that would purport and also encourage people to go to jail for life. Like, if you're putting this, like, disclaimer, like, it's not like you don't believe it.
Real life street stars. Hold on. They might not have saw this coming, but I'm sure they saw it coming. It's been 3 days. 3 point something million on Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Jaguar Wright has the world's attention as we speak. The last time we spoke, it was virtually.
Yeah.
And Diddy had been arrested, which made the world stop.
Yeah.
And take a moment and say, wait a minute. There's been a lady speaking about these things for years.
He turned the whole world into Ray J. Wait a minute. Yup, he did. Yeah, he did.
And first and foremost, we have to say we appreciate you coming here next, because that gives us validity in the sense that Piers Morgan, thank you. But really, this moment right here is where we really get what y'all are coming here to see, and what we call what would you call this kind of information that you put out, Jag? What?
Real shit.
There you go. There you go. Now, before we get started, I'm looking at your drip. I'm looking at your clothing.
Yeah.
And that looks somewhat. Is that Haley Bailey?
Well, someone asked me where to get this T-shirt from because they thought it was Haley Bailey.
Yes.
23-year-old Jaguar Wright, Miss 7th Avenue. Stores say, I love her. Years in lapse, time, gap. And yet, she looked like me. This is what they do to us. Then they keep creating replica.
Come on. Our fans who really want to also support you, of course, you have your own support system as far as Jaguar Wright and the Jaguar Wright Foundation, wherever she
And
wants
my
to go.
legal defense fund, which
Correct.
is most imperative right now.
Ooh.
With 2 business deals, 2 companies, Profits Plus BB Films, and View It. Both of them were brought to me by people that I considered trusted allies. And both deals were corrupted. Now, I'm not going to blame the people that brought the deals to me.
This caption says Dame Dash sued CFA, which I think maybe is the company that owns this channel.
How could I expect them to know? But to consistently keep being courted to do business with people who keep things secret, like, oh yeah, we work with Rock Nation, or oh yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr., full on Diddy Do-Wop Bop, sits on the board. If I had have heard those names in those first meetings, there's no way I would have gone through with those deals. I don't do business with people who do business with the devil. So why did they keep it secret? Why did I have to find out? Why did I have to do extra research that wasn't available upon meeting these companies? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because my enemies pay good money to make sure I can't be successful. Okay. And if you don't believe me, ask Dame Dash.
Ooh, here we go. Ooh, okay.
That's what's been happening to him. Hi, Dame.
Oh, stay right there. Stay right there. So
thanks for the shout out.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry you've been getting sued. I haven't.
And we're going to go back to Dan because he said, how come they haven't sued Jaguar Wright? A lot of people are saying that. So let's just start with Piers Morgan because there's a headline that went out that was very powerful that people are running with where it just says, Jay-Z is the real monster. Now, before you speak on it, to even get to Piers Morgan, can you explain how that took place and why even take that interview to go forward?
Well, excuse me.
Bless us.
I can't say that I sought it out because I didn't. Truth is we didn't see it coming.
Hey. I'm trying to say this without coming off as a hypocrite because I run a news platform, right? And sometimes in the moments of the biggest misfortunes, like, for example, I remember we had 72,000 people watching just King Akademiks when we were listening and waiting for the deliberation and the reading of the Tory Lanez verdict, which ultimately went to prison. So I do know because, and that's been my thing, right? Like, I'm the news guy. Like, you guys used to watch me or listen to me before you ever heard my voice and be like, it's boy, check it out. Like, you heard that a million times. And I do know that when big news, whether positive or negative, like, a lot of people tune in. So let's just break even that down, right? By the nature of things, I do get paid when there are big headlines. I get paid more, I guess, when there's big headlines or big things that's happening because more people come. That's something I acknowledge. But I acknowledge it where I'm not, and again, I'm saying this because I want to be a hypocrite in what I'm about to say. I acknowledge this because it's different, because I also have the ability to create stories if I want. Like, I keep telling you, I have everybody's secrets. If I just want to go break story after story and just, I could, but that's not really what I do, right? So I generally kind of just react and I kind of go off of the natural cycle of things, and if something happened, that's what it is. And I use that to admit how, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I want to address like the Jaguar Wrights. And I remember talking to Vlad, and I said, Vlad, once you start paying these people for interviews, you fucked up the game. Because this was when he was talking about the Marlon Wayans thing. And he was like, oh, and I completely gets the business model, right? Well, Vlad is making tens of thousands of dollars for some of these interviews. Of course, like, after a while, shit, you should pay your guests, especially when, for me, it's a quid pro quo, like, which means we're exchanging. Like, when I interview 21 Savage, or if I interview Vaughn of 1700, or I interview any of these rappers, they're looking for additional eyes and promotion for their music. In exchange for doing the interview, that interview for me becomes content, right? So they're getting free promotion. I'm getting content. So I don't generally like to pay anyone, truth be told. I think once I go down the realm, but that's just my mentality. Once you go down the realm of paying people, you start seeing very different things. Now, let me explain what's happening on YouTube. Shout out to Charleston White. Like, Charleston White's one of those guys, and I think he deserves every dollar. He gets paid because he'll do an interview with a channel with 300 subscribers, and after that interview, because the interview is still going to do 500,000 at least, that channel going to blow up to be like 30,000 subscribers just off of that. So he should be compensated. Now, I extrapolate that thought to like someone like Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright is at the point now, and I don't know what her financial condition was before. If you think Jaguar Wright isn't getting paid handsomely for all these interviews she's doing, you're smoking crack. Now, I'm not upset, nor do I really give a fuck if people pay for interviews. But let's think about the Jaguar Wrights, the Gene Deals, and I'm not saying no one's lying. But if you're getting paid and your payment, this is how you're now making a living, it's predicated on you having and exposing the industry or telling these tales that are saying people are monsters. Does it ever get to the point that you say, okay, I already exposed all the monsters. These other guys that I've never met, I don't know enough about them. Or do you just double down? Or do you just continue, continue to kind of go down the realm of whatever you believe that people want to hear? Because at the end of the day now, when you see her show up with the glasses and she's like, this is, if Jaguar Wright's getting 6 figures for talking about this shit now, facts. You think if she cares about now her new income stream to continue, you think she's not trying to say things or do more shit to have it continue? Or do you think at this point she's just here to get the truth out and she just wants to see people? Or is she do you get what I mean? Now, I use that to say, remember what we said about some of these lawsuits. We got real victims who they were really wronged by Diddy. And they're suing because for whatever reason, they couldn't get him locked up, I guess, right? But then you got some of those people who, shit, if the money's being given out, let me get it. There's a couple, listen, there gonna be a couple of chicks who said, nah, shit, I was down with a freak off back then, but shit, if everybody taking this nigga down, I'm about to change my story. I need some money too. And I'm wondering, when it comes to like Jaguar Wright, I'm like, are we still at the point? Because you'll watch someone like Jaguar Wright start developing main character syndrome. Like, okay, we're all going to give her credit for speaking about Diddy before everyone else took focus on him. But as time goes by, you realize she's basking in this almost newfound celebrity, attention, and this pay-to-play economy for these interviews she's doing. You start to see the demeanor change. It starts to be a lot more about, it's like a second wind at what is about fame. And again, I'm not saying any of this to like make her look or sound any crazy, but I'm wondering if that taints the process of, because I remember hearing Jaguar Wright for the first time, even Gene Deal. Their thing was, I just want to tell the truth. And that is so innocent. When someone says, I didn't have a voice before, I just want to tell the truth. After a while, though, it becomes, well, this is now your new career. How much you think Gene Deal gets a year to do interviews? Speaking about Diddy. Keep in mind, if he's not speaking about Diddy, I don't know how interested he is. How much you think Jaguar Wright is getting? So again, how much could they still give new information that they haven't said in the other 40 interviews they done did? If they want to keep getting a check, they got to come up with new shit. Now, maybe they're just good at recollecting some shit they never said before. Or maybe, exactly, all right?
But I have to credit Odell.
Shout out Odeezy.
My love. I have to credit him because since we've combined and joined forces and become a hell of an investigative journalism team. See, I'm the content, I'm the passion, I'm the voice. I'm also the brain, but I do too much by myself.
See, once we get to the point where like, she's talking about the business model of exposing these guys. You see, it always starts off pure where you're like, oh no, they're just doing the right thing. They're speaking against somebody powerful. Then you realize now, this is a business. This is a 6-figure income generator that they're now creating a team around. And how much of this is still pure versus how much of this is we need to continue the business?
That's the brain. That's the administrator. That's the bloodhound. And he, you know,
I'm gonna skip to the Vlad part real quick.
Going after you.
Never have enough to say. Right. There will never be enough screen time for me to say. But what I will say is, I'm grateful for the questions he asked. I'm grateful for the time he gave me to answer. And I pray that I was able to hit everything that needed to be hit for the public.
How did you feel about Vlad going after you?
I loved it. I saw the lineup immediately.
Right.
Especially when I saw the lawyer, Ariel, kid that came after.
Right.
What Pierce did was brilliant journalism.
Right.
He created a beef without there being one. And he created multiple episodes for confrontation It's brilliant.
It is. Vlad has said you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And he has never wanted you on a show. He has never reached
Ever.
out to you.
You know what? Hold up. Drum roll. Where do I find that receipt?
Oh. We got. Is there?
On email.
Let me check.
Yeah. There's receipts?
No, it's on your YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
let me go over here to my baby's channel, Set in the West. Shout out to
Shout out
Set
to
in the
West.
West.
Running the numbers up. Go there for all the exclusive. All the exclusive.
You know, it's so funny. I love bigging his channel up.
Yeah.
I love it. I do. I love it. I love having.
You know, going from
Right? Blash. Didn't subscribe on his phone. No, because I. Hold on. Let's see. Is that it? Oh, the Bluetooth. They don't have any.
Everyone knew he was the devil. I would go, but there's a party within a party. This has been a fifth. AKA, what's your name, bro? Vladimir, Boofsky. It's Vladimir. Vladimir. Come at you as a
Before vlogging.
carpet from Compton, but YG's from Bompton.
From Bompton.
Okay, anyway.
Running around from 10 rooftop to 10 rooftop, playing your little weird. And considering everything that's going on with the Israelis right now and the war and the this and the that, you know, seems like you would be more interested in that. Like Mila Kunis and.
Before he came on, what is his thoughts on you before they put him on?
I'm sure they checked.
So.
But the thing is
makes for good TV.
It's great TV. Like I said, I thought it was brilliant. But the thing is the only way that he could have been cloaked from a vetting team as fierce as Pierce Morgan's.
All right, let's get to. She's talking about 50 J Kendrick. What the fuck? Let's hear this.
You got it.
Damn.
Curtis.
Okay.
You can find him in the club.
Right. So you can find him in the club.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. So let me ask you, when Pierce.
Hopefully not at Coco Pele.
Damn.
I got somebody looking for you there.
Damn.
I know you're tight, Curtis. You gonna fall for one of my niggas real soon. See if you figure out which one.
Oh my God. So
I had somebody watching your ass the second you came down to the clerk's office. Now, you might have been able to pay everybody down there to get on Facebook and lie about me and say that I was arrested for kidnapping and elderly abuse. Y'all remember when I got arrested and brought here to Dallas after I got extradited? What was it, for kidnapping and elderly abuse?
Now, she's calling out 50 Cent. Now, you know what I've noticed, chat? And I start to realize, let me tell you this, when you open Pandora's box, and sometimes, you know, I forgot the law that applies to this in the 48 Laws of Power. Sometimes you want to see somebody fall. But, you know, in Jamaican terms, I've always said, I love this term because it's true. They say when you dig a grave, make sure you dig two. You dig one for the person you hate and dig one for you too. Because sometimes when you're so focused on trying to sink somebody, you also sink yourself. And what I've realized is that, you know, 50 has been one of the main contributors to seeing Diddy go down. And Diddy be, you know, castrated and kind of ousted as like this creep. But the more these lawsuits keep coming out, what have we seen? Two of the people, not only 50, but also Gene Deal, they're like, oh, wait, hold on now. Some of this shit, I know I've been saying this nigga's weird and he did do A, B, and C, but I'm not gonna quote. You know, you know what? Where that comes from? That comes from those people realizing you're not that removed and you're not that protected either. It's only a matter of time before somebody mentions that Gene Deal was in some shit, or somebody mentions that 50 was in. Maybe not some shit with Diddy, but somebody makes an allegation. So you can't be the person that's accepting that well, I won't call it bullshit, but every allegation is right. because it could happen to you too. And we've seen how Gene Deal kind of backpedaled, but I seen 50 himself. 50, what did 50 say? 50 posted even something recently, and he called it out. He said, yo, this is bullshit. Where is it at? Where's the 50 post? Fuck. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Where is it? Am I tripping? Like, he essentially said, oh, here it is, right here. Okay? Give me 1 second. Okay, so 50, he said, okay. He said, Diddy gonna make bail his next, well, it wasn't this one. He's gonna make bail his next court days, so all that shit y'all been saying, keep the same energy. Don't y'all even try to take that post down. That wasn't the one, actually. He had called out BS. Where is it? Like, fuck. I don't have my ducks in order today, Chad. I know. I like to have all my things, but I just instantly thought of this. So I don't have this like prepared, but he called out some shit and he said, yo, this is bullshit. Let me see. 50 Cent, Diddy calls, like he called it BS. He called out one of these allegations and he was just like, this is a lie. Right? Oh yeah, he says, caught this bitch lying. Right? And so you put up this Thalia Graves joint. And it says TMZ had obtained a text exchange between the Diddy accuser, her, Thalia Graves, and her ex-boyfriend, where she offered him up to $7 million, or not $7 million, but 7 figures to corroborate her claim. And 50's now coming, looking like he's almost kind of like saying, all right, man, yo, we already got Diddy down. He's locked up, like, but some of these other claims is bullshit. Because you know what happens is that the pylon method happens. And he has to, I don't think he cares about Diddy. I think 50 realizes that you're not impervious to this. I think Gene Deal realizes that the same way how you tried to sink Diddy, after a while, they're going to get Big Joe Sherman, and eventually somebody's going to say Gene Deal. Just like 50's realizing that you're now creating an environment where women who have had maybe any type of sexual experience with a rapper or someone who they feel got the bread, they're going to come out with a different story. And guess who got bread too? You. So I seen 50 start to kind of like change his tune slightly. And I'm like, okay, interesting.
Yes.
It was for me being a fugitive.
Oh yeah, fugitive.
Because DJ Genesis made me a fugitive when she pretended to be Angela Owusu and broke my bond.
Okay,
went to and talked to and told them about me wanting to run for mayor. Why? To manipulate the circumstances of what's supposed to happen at the Super Bowl.
What?
My Pierce Morgan to say he's not here to defend himself, so
No,
we're
and
gonna...
neither is his asshole. I'm over Curtis. I'm over Curtis. Because the only reason he's kissing up to Jay-Z right now, trying to manipulate the circumstances of what's supposed to happen at the Super Bowl.
What?
See, Diddy's in jail. Jay-Z's used to having a wingman. You think it's going to be you? Now, everybody knows in the backdrop, Sean Carter, that you promised the South that the next time the Super Bowl came through, it would be a Louisiana affair. And then when Diddy goes and gets into trouble and you need to convince the white people you're still in control, you bring Kendrick Lamar, who we already know you don't like for the way he embarrassed you on Don't Kill My Vibe, the remix.
Wait,
but we also know
Up in the closet.
you got ties in TDE
What?
Sean Carter, and you got a switch on top. I know that. I know that for a fact. Just like why you keep having artists that want to jump off of high places. Shout out to Ab-Soul.
Bozo, thank you for the 50 pounds. I appreciate you. You said, Ak, you're a trustworthy journalist who's pretty much accurate on a lot of stuff, but it's also a business. We saw your cars. She has a voice to expose other predators now, like Jay-Z and Drake, and to get paid. Nothing wrong with that. Bozo, this is why I admitted the fact that I don't want to seem a hypocrite when I'm saying what I'm saying about her. So I talked about, hey, I do run a news channel, or I do a news podcast or a news stream. I get it. So like in times when there is a big news story, I do get ridiculous numbers, right? Which in terms turns to ridiculous pay. I am agreeing with you. Here's my point. Her knack is really the Jay-Z and Diddy stuff, which she's been speaking about. It's one thing where you're speaking on maybe firsthand knowledge of these people. I don't know if she knows Chris Brown. And I know y'all might be like, oh, no, it's because she mentioned Drake. It's just like, here's my point. Jaguar Wright also said that Joe Budden was fucking some dude. And Joe Budden, I forgot who she said he was fucking. But even Joe Budden was just like, yo, I was actually believing a lot of the stuff you were saying until you just randomly threw me in it. You have to realize at a point, it's impossible that this woman knows every predator, every nefarious, evil person in the industry. And at a point, she becomes just like someone who's cynically just mentioning people's names. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I see her with Jay-Z. Whatever she said about Jay-Z, she knows more than me. I'll say that same thing about Sean Combs. When she's mentioning certain other people, I don't know if she was even around.
Oh. What was her name?
Put like this. She's talking about how the Super Bowl this year should go with Kendrick and TDE and Jay-Z. Like, again, do you think she's speaking from a place of, oh, she knows? Or maybe she's also like speculating a bit?
Lori Joe. Oh. That woman threw herself from a control tower and impaled herself with spikes right before she was about to sign the TDE.
Okay, Bozo, I'll ask you this question. By the way, Bozo, that's the name of the guy. I'm not calling him Bozo. Let me tell you this. You see, y'all gonna jack what Jaguar Wright says until she starts saying shit that you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? All right, cool. You know my favorite game? All right, bet. Y'all right. Y'all got me. Yeah, I'm hating. Cool. All right, bet. She said TDE on some weird shit. What's up? What up? Y'all believe her now? TDE's on the weird shit. Y'all believe her? Or now is she lying? Because she's now mentioning and kind of alluding to hip-hop Jesus, which is Kendrick. She's saying that they're on the weird shit. Are y'all saying that she's lying now? If you're saying we should believe her, she's saying they're weird too. What's up? It's always anytime you see people be like, no, let them talk. Somebody like this she doesn't really have the wherewithal to realize you can't say Kendrick and Kendrick people is weird because Kendrick is hip-hop Jesus. He could do no wrong. So even the people who are rocking with you, the moment you say hip-hop Jesus, Kendrick, is doing some weird shit, you're like, oh, hell no. All right, now she's lying. So chat, y'all tell me. If she telling the truth about Drake, Jay-Z, Diddy, Chris Brown, now she's mentioning Kendrick. She telling the truth too, right?
What was her name? Alori Joe?
Oh.
That woman threw herself from a control tower and impaled herself with spikes right before she was about to sign the TDE. And her fiance, Ab Soul, threw himself off the freeway out of grief and survived. Why are all of the artists at TDE so unhappy? You guys.
As I said, chat, sometimes it'll make you laugh or make you cry. This is the thing with Jaguar Wright. When y'all be like, oh no, whatever, because she's talking some crap about Jay-Z and Diddy, she's going to get to your favorite artist too, who you think is hip-hop Jesus. And the people he grew up around, and the people he came up in this game around. And I know people are like, well, Kendrick's not TDE. Kendrick came up in that system, and he made that label. He put that label on the map in a way where it was a dominant force in the industry. So whatever she's saying, if you believe her about them people, that means Kendrick. Which, by the way, I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. Like, I just want to tell y'all about when y'all start getting into this cynicism shit, like, oh no, like she knows everything about y'all are down to believe shit until she mentions the person you love. That's my point.
Some of the best artists in the West there. Why did Kendrick Lamar feel the need to leave and start his own? And why is he able to release more records now that he's not at TDE?
He released one album and 3 diss songs. He ain't releasing much more music than he was releasing on TDE. Damn dropped in 2017. 2022, we get motherfucking Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. For 2 years after that, we're in 2022. We have maybe 3 or 4 features, right? 3 or 4. No, all right, let's say a little bit more because he was doing, but definitely less than 10. And we have 2 diss songs and 1 album since 2022. He ain't releasing that much music since. Let's be honest. But here's the thing: if y'all want to say I believe her, y'all gotta now say, if y'all want to say Diddy's sick, Jay-Z's sick, TD's sick.
So
interesting.
Let me ask you, as you're on this topic.
I tell you one thing, Curtis Jackson, you are a setup king. And I promise you this, any little nigga that you're enlisting to go down to New Orleans and start trouble during the Super Bowl, that will stop. That will stop. I'm sick and tired of you. And the truth is, they only like you for your money.
Let me ask you, Jack, on a surface level, you're saying that Kendrick being in the Super Bowl versus, let's say, Wayne, which was like a shoe-in for the city, that in the background, and again, we talked about the mayor, it's a lot more to it than just as simple as, oh, Kendrick's he had a great year.
Social engineering, creating an issue that didn't need to be an issue.
I hear that. Like Hunger Games, like.
Very Hunger Games. Life imitates art. Art imitates life. I tell you one thing, it's been almost 30 years since Biggie and Tupac were taken from us. That was social engineering at its finest. It got people in line, didn't it?
Without question.
Now you think about Drake right now, and you think about Kendrick Lamar. That's looking about the same as Biggie, Kendrick. Biggie, Kendrick, Tupac, Drake. Think about the comparisons.
Yep.
Your mental health is a real thing, bro. That is not the same thing at all. Biggie and Tupac is nothing like Drake and Kendrick.
Imagine. Be a gangster playing. Imagine.
Comparisons.
If the same fate that befell Biggie and Tupac happened to Drake and Kendrick.
Just imagine.
And as messy as Drake is right now.
You know what's so funny? The people who run this channel, because they're ad-libbing behind the scenes, I could tell that they're just doing this shit for views. They don't believe one fucking word she's saying. They're putting up all type of disclaimer. They don't believe one fucking word. Like they're just like, all right, this is gonna get some views. Fuck it.
I can almost bet that there's somebody that wants to turn his faucet off. Because if y'all think Diddy is a mess, Drake, he was being groomed to be next in line. See. What happens when the real details of what happened to Triple X come out? Oh my God. What happens when Jonathan Hay finally starts putting all of the pieces together on why he was put in that home invasion robbery with his daughter? Because he's remembering more now. He's been talking with Truth Is here on YouTube, and he's been saying even more now than he said here. Shout out to Jonathan Hay and your bravery.
Shout out Jonathan Hay. We will get him on the couch soon because his story is one of those stories that might get lost in Hollywood if he was ever silenced.
Might get lost. He might get lost.
Exactly.
Let's make sure he doesn't.
Yeah, let's pray and protect Jonathan Hay. Jack, let me ask you to kind of put a bun on the Piers Morgan situation. He brought you on to speak on Diddy, and it seemed that as if your focus turned to Jay-Z, his wife.
That's always been my focus.
Yes. What?
They're one and the same. Tell me something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
You saying Diddy and Jay-Z is peanut butter jelly
Peanut
time?
butter and jelly. Let's deal with the sandwich.
We asked you this last time, and Piers Morgan said it. They're not here to defend themselves. Do you think the Carters will speak about any of this at all? Do you just feel that they'll make any statement about what's going
Beyonce is
on?
losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say something?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals.
Yo,
Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z.
this is crazy.
The proof is there. How many up people does he have to be around before people see him for who he is?
It seemed like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed.
Everyone knows every time Diddy's name comes up in something, it's always some freaky issue by the sea, man. Now, in what's new, you feel me? Now, new information's coming out. Diddy lost a lawsuit where he essentially owes $100-something million. That person, I'm not gonna lie, bro, you're never seeing that money. It's sad to say. You're never ever seeing that money ever. Yeah. Is the diddler. You're never seeing that money. Got some of the best lawyers in the world. He's a billionaire. Still, supposedly. You feel me? He's liquidating his assets now. Selling houses and doing all that. But bro, you're not seeing any money. Like, Diddy's, the only reason he won the case because Diddy just never went to court. That's it. But It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how you guys feel about everything. And I'm out.